Atlantic.com. Trump's trip was a catastrophe for the U.S. They need to get the spelling correct. They didn't spell that right. The Europe relations, Angela Merkel has served formal notice that she will lead the German wandering away from the American alliance. What was that? Oh, okay.
Do you agree with any of this?
Say again?
Do you agree with any of it? No?
Yeah, it says 7 years. I'm going to get to the point. It says 7 years after the end of the Second World War, on the 10th of March, 1952, the government of the U.S. and the United Kingdom, France, and the newly established Federal Republic of Germany received an astounding note from the Soviet Union. The Soviet Union offered to withdraw the troops that then occupied Eastern Germany and to end its rule over the occupied zone. Germany would be reunited under a constitution that allowed the country freedom to choose its own social system. Okay, so Germany wants to be its own setup. Okay, they want to withdraw, if I'm not mistaken, from the Soviet Union. Let me read it again. It says the Soviet Union offered to withdraw the troops that then occupied in Eastern Germany and to end its rule over the occupied zone. Germany would be reunited under a constitution that allowed the country freedom to choose its own social system. Germany would even be allowed to rebuild its military, and all Germans except those convicted of war crimes would regain their political rights. In return, the Allied troops in Western Germany would also be withdrawn. Okay? So the Allied troops in Western Germany would also be withdrawn, and Germany would be forbidden to join NATO, the new alliance. Alright, so they'll be forbidden or rejected from joining the alliance of NATO, the North Atlantic Treaty Organization. Alright? But the thing with Donald Trump is causing a ruckus amongst the European countries, which that goes into, Revelation the 11th chapter, where it speaks about how the beast is talking about NATO, which represents the revival of ancient Rome that we're in right now. Okay, so this is all Bible prophecy. Because guess what? Great Britain and all of the allies that are linked with Great Britain, okay, are going to go against America. Go on, brother. I think it's something to talk about. Because you're going to have a nuclear war. A nuclear war is on the verge. I think it's Revelation 17. I could be wrong on it. Revelation 17. It says, these shall hate the whole. You got it, right?
It's Revelation 17.
Yeah.
And there came one of the seven angels, which had the seven vows, and talked with me, saying unto me, come thither, I will show unto thee the judgment of the great whore.
So what is this great? Read it louder, brother.
And there came one of the seven vows, and there came one of the seven angels, which had the seven vows, and talked with me, saying unto me, come hither, I will show unto thee the judgment of the great whore.
Right, I will show unto thee the judgment of the great whore. So what is the great whore talking about? What is that talking about? That's talking about America. Alright, because the thing with the Revelator, John the Revelator, he was on an island of Patmos around the 1st century AD. And he saw a great empire that was going to be judged, but he called it as the great whore. Go on, brother.
That sitteth upon many waters.
That sitteth upon many waters. What are the waters talking about? The waters is synonymously or metaphorically talking about the people, all of the other nations. That's what the waters represent. Go on.
With whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication.
Right, who have committed fornication. That's why she's known as the whore, because she's basically shoot every other nation and spreading her philosophy and her ideology of democracy. That's how she became the great whore. Go on. Which is America. Go on.
And the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication.
Right. So they've been jungled with the rapper for fornication because they've taken on the philosophies and the democracy of America. You can just do what you want to do, no order. Okay, if you're a woman and you feel like a man, you can get your sex operations changed. Okay, your sexual organs changed, excuse me. So that's the ideology going.
What's this?
This is about the Israelites, where the Jews that the Bible speaks about.
Are you recording?
Right. Yeah, so finish this right quick, brother. Finish that. We're gonna ask you a question in a minute.
Verse 3. So he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet-colored beast.
Right. I'll tell you, I'm gonna ask you a question now, because I'm gonna be here all day. Yeah, so what do you want to find out?
I just wondering what you're doing.
Okay, well, what I'm doing is what the Lord commanded us to do, which is to prophesy and to have our people see what's really going down and who they really
What's
are.
this Christian?
No, this ain't got nothing to do with Christianity.
Are you Jewish?
We're the real Jews. Because when you say the term Jewish, what are you saying? You're not really a Jew, are you?
I'm not a Jew. I'm not a Jew.
You don't?
I'm what?
Absolutely. That's why we out here.
What happened?
That's not important. I'll explain on that later on, but that's not important.
Stupid question.
No, it's
Oh.
all right. It's cool. It's
Why
it's
is
all
it
right.
stupid?
No, it's all right. It's cool. It's all right. You're going. Yeah.
So he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness,
Right.
and I saw a woman upon a scarlet-colored beast.
Right, and that's talking about America. But ultimately, no, it's metaphorical. Ultimately, what this whole thing is about, right, is that you're Israelite. Where you from? What's your nationality? Okay, so you would be of the tribe of Benjamin. Okay, a so-called West Indian, which means you're a son of God. You're the children of God. That's who you are. You gotta repent and come back to the Lord. If not, then you're gonna be caught up in that, basically. Okay, and America and Great Britain is gonna go to nuclear war, and all of them are gonna destroy each other. Okay, and all of our people, they're gonna get caught up in that. But if they repent, then they can be safe from it.
All the countries.
Now that's the different tribes. Basically. Now when you go to Jerusalem, the Middle East, it was in the Middle East, and that's what we named all of the lands in the Middle East, all of the different regions, so to speak.
So what's level?
Levi means joined unto. Levites are the Haitian people, basically. They're the Haitian people today.
Haitian.
Yeah, the Haitian. You know
They're Asian.
Haitian. Haiti.
Oh, Haiti.
Yeah, Haiti. They're Levi. So where you from? You know what I'm saying? Your nationality. Yeah, I can tell. You're one of us. You're one of us. Yeah, so what's going on?
How you doing?
Yeah, I'm alright.
So, a colleague said you might just have some interesting promotional literature. I'm just over here for a read.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing. Wondering what it is.
Yeah, what this is what we do is we go into like history in some cases, but what we're going into is prophecy.
Yeah.
What's going to happen in the future and everything like that. Like you have the situation with Jeremy Corbyn and Theresa May
Yeah.
and everything like that. Well, according to the Bible and according to this realm, what's happening is the prophecies of God are playing out, so to speak. And if you notice, I mean, I don't know if you're aware of what's going on. You seem to be aware. Now I'm already.
Oh, good, thanks, mate.
Yeah, so when you look at what's going on around the world in terms of hearing wars and rumors of wars, that was already made mention. Give me that in Matthew 24.
At the very end of the Bible makes reference to hell, brimstone,
Right.
fire,
Right.
all the sea giving up the dead in them, and they be judged.
You know what that is?
Yeah.
What's that?
Sorry?
You know what that is?
It is the end of the book at the very end of the Bible, but I can't remember what it is because it was
What's the
years ago I read it.
brimstone?
Sorry?
What's the brimstone?
Brimstone is burning sulfur.
That's no, he's right because that's what happened in what is it? Sodom and Gomorrah. So what's going to happen is the brimstones are going to be interchangeable to something else because the Lord don't need to bring about brimstones.
Yeah.
Because guess what? All of the different allied countries, all the countries around the world, what do they have? That's like a brimstone.
Well, it's nuclear weapons, isn't it? It's
There
nuclear
you go.
arms.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. And that's where it's headed.
Yeah.
And that's why Theresa May and them, if you notice, she's not listening to what the public is saying and other prime ministers. You know, so you're going home. Take care, please.
See you later.
Take care.
It was interesting what you were talking about.
Yeah. But you two guys are Israelites though, just know that. Yeah, but so that's what's gonna happen. And before that happens, so what's gonna happen? You're gonna have martial law being declared on the streets because you're gonna have a lot of chaos happening and etc. I mean, I don't know precisely what's going to happen.
Am I right in thinking I've seen you guys here before? You've been out here once or twice in the last couple of months.
Yeah, I've been out here for a year now. So
every weekend. Oh, pretty hell, that's dedication, isn't it?
Every Saturday.
Yeah.
Every Saturday, yeah.
Are you guys based at a local church or anything like that?
Nah, we just come out here to really just do what we're doing right now.
Yeah.
I mean, we could have a church, but we gotta do it like this. Yeah, go on.
Okay.
This Isaiah 9 and 5.
Yeah.
For every battle of a warrior,
Yeah, that's a good scripture.
for every battle of the warrior is with confused noise and garments rolled in blood.
Yeah.
But this
That's talking about the ancient world. Because back in the ancient world, men would go to war with knives and weapons and shields and all that. But it's talking, go on.
But this
About people like the Sumerians.
Right. Then you go to Babylonians, etc.
All the way through to the Crusades in the 1200s.
Yep. You're going.
But this shall be with burning and fuel of fire.
It says that this war's going to be burning with fuel of fire. Because what's going to fuel those missiles to go up and down? It's not going to fuel.
Combustible gas.
That's what it is.
Oh, we're just coming over to see if you guys are alright. I think you haven't had any grief from anybody, have you? You don't get any grief from anyone when you're here normally.
In some cases, but that's all right.
Okay.
We know how to handle it professionally and stuff like that.
No problem.
Yeah.
Just, I've seen you out there a couple of times. I thought I'd just come and talk to you because usually I'm going home and I've got my head down. It's been a long day and I just want to go.
I understand. I get that.
So if you guys are all right, we'll leave you to it and wish you the best.
You have a nice day. Okay. Yeah, so, and that's what we got to get into. We got to get into the prophecies and explain to all people.
The prophecies are scary, man.
Right.
As soon as they hit fuel, burning of fire, look at I go.
Come on. But that's why I told the brother, I said, look, man, instead of you getting them Edomites, open the scriptures up. Bring the fire, because this is known as the fire. You see, you're going, bro.
Because with the Bible is here, whatever you are is here, there's always going to be an element of you feel there's some kind of truth to it.
Yeah.
Whether you believe or not is it. That's why people don't like us to read from the Bible, man. Not read from the book.
Yeah.
You're gonna prove us in the same book, like that guy, man.
Right. But you know what, you're right. I didn't catch that before. That's actually true because when you do open up the Bible, people don't really want to see, even though they may disbelieve it, but they know they know somewhat down the line, deep down in their soul, they know it's got to be the truth to a certain degree, but they don't want to accept it. Yeah, I never really caught that. But yeah, go on, bro. Because this is a spiritual book. Yeah, what was it, man? Yeah. Great hall, yeah.
Yeah, I'll ask Adrian what his
Yeah, you're going.
So back to Revelation 17 and 3. So he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet-colored beast.
Right, and that woman represented America, scarlet-colored beast. Okay, go on. Because the word scarlet obviously goes back to the color red, obviously, but red also means sin. From the word, that's where you get the term crimson from. Another term, criminal. Okay, go on, brother.
Full of names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns.
Having 7 heads and 10 horns, which the 7 heads talks about the 7 common markers that represents the survival of ancient Rome. Okay, which is NATO pretty much. Go on. Yeah, go on.
Verse 14, verse 4. And the woman was arrayed in purple and a scarlet color.
Yeah, so it says that the woman was arrayed in purple, which the term purple means royalty, which represents they're in the power seat now. Because in the ancient world, when a race of people came into power, what did they wear? Purple, to indicate that they're in power now. Go on.
And the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand, full of abominations,
Right.
and filthiness of our fornications.
Right, and filthiness over fornication. That's the democracy. Okay, a man could be a woman and a woman could be a man, and it's okay to be a sodomite, etc. Okay, it's okay.